to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Perfect.
Oh, you already know what time it is. We the ones. We had ourselves a good old-fashioned pay-per-view last night with major WrestleMania implications. Unfortunately, shit had to get switched up at the last minute. But it gave us one hell of a main event, so there's that. We the ones. Check out the socials. As always, follow me, RJD. RJD10K on Instagram, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD199 on Snapchat. But most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Follow What the Wrestling on Anchor. Follow What the Wrestling on Spotify. All right, y'all. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Wait. Tis I, RJD here. What is going on?
You stupid.
Yeah, I messed that up, but it's all good. RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling.
Perfect.
Where we talk about all things wrestling. And right now we about to talk about day ones, because we the ones. In case you didn't know, we had ourselves a good old-fashioned pay-per-view. A shitload of stuff going on. And unfortunately, we did have a big monkey wrench thrown in the pay-per-view last night. Yes, I am still under the weather, if you're keeping track. Feeling better every day, but I ain't 100% yet. So bear with a brother, because the coffin will commence. So with that being said, couple of things to update you on. So in case you didn't know, we had some injuries. We have some injuries to talk about before we get into the pay-per-view. First of all, let's talk about Mr. Roman Reigns, your tribal chief. So your tribal chief is not injured, but he did catch a slight case of the Rona, and I hope Mr. Joe is doing okay. I hope he's well. Now, you know, he had leukemia. It was in remission since about 2019, if I'm not mistaken. He came back, took most of 2020 off because of the Rona. Came back, turned heel. He's been off and running ever since. Biggest storyline in WWE is Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and where's Paul Heyman gonna go? So he put out a tweet saying he yearns to fight tonight at day one, but he has the vid. Shout out to Kevin Hart. So he will not be able to compete due to protocols, obviously. Wrestling aside, I hope the brother is okay. I hope, whatever he needed to do to get himself right, whether that be vaccinations or whatever, hopefully he did what he had to do and he stayed safe. And I wished him a speedy recovery. Don't know how sick or not sick he is, but that shit is nothing to play. That shit is nothing to play with when you're healthy, but when you are immunocompromised, it really ain't nothing to play with. So let's get that out the way. Hope Mr. Roman, Mr. Joe, a speedy recovery. Get well soon, brother man. Come back with a vengeance. That's real talk. It's bigger than wrestling at this point. Shout out to him. Get well soon. Now, we did have another injury. Rich Holland definitely broke his nose. I will talk about that, but hopefully he's okay. He did show off the broken nose. Look nasty. But he did catch a knee to the face by Mr. Ricochet. Accidents happen. This is wrestling. But hopefully he's alright, He's alright. A lot of blood, a little swollen, probably broke, but he'll come back, he'll be fine. We've all at least had one broken nose in our lives, right? So hopefully he's okay. That's number 2. Then we have Mr. Drew McIntyre. Mr. Drew McIntyre has been working with a crazy neck injury. So apparently he's been working through a neck injury for a while. And yesterday he got written off of TV after his bout with Matt Moss. They attacked him backstage, put a chair around his neck and hit another chair on that chair, if I'm not mistaken, and they basically wrote him off because he has a neck injury. So hopefully he is feeling better as well. Hopefully he takes his time, because there was word on the street that they had very, very big plans for him. And because of that, they just wrote him off TV so he could get his neck worked on. And he can come back with a vengeance after everything is clear. Shout out to him. Get well soon, brother man. That's all I have to say about that. Now, the one thing, before I get into the show, the one thing that is glaringly apparent is that without Roman Reigns, SmackDown really doesn't have anything going on. I mean, it's bad. There were good SmackDown matches on here, but there's really nothing going on. There's really nothing going on on SmackDown without your tribal chief being there, which is sad. I mean, they gotta get that rectified. Monday Night Raw, with all its flaws, at least it has shit going on. Without Roman, SmackDown is, the Roman and Brock feud are hand in hand, but without them two, holy shit, this show is lacking star power tremendously. So they need to get that figured out immediately, and let's see what they do moving forward. So let's talk about day ones, because we the ones, baby. First things first, kick off match Cesaro and Ricochet versus Rich Holland and Sheamus. Like I said before, Ricochet was flipped over by Cesaro and landed right on Rich Holland's face. So his nose was broke. He was taken out of the match. That then put them in a bind. Now, they are all professionals. You know, the match definitely wasn't supposed to happen where Rich Holland got basically booted out of the match. You know, he's bleeding all over the place. Probably couldn't stop the bleeding because his nose was broke, so they removed him from the match. But now you're forced to call the match in the ring and think on the fly. And these guys are all professionals, all four of these guys, so they figured it out. Ended up having a pretty decent match. The psychology was off because Sheamus then had to work from behind like he was the babyface and not the heel. But it's okay, shit happens. He took Ricochet out with a white noise on the outside. Then he came back in and kicked Cesaro's head off. Sheamus, low-key, Sheamus has been, listen. Sheamus has been money. He's been solid for a while now. Like, quietly, he's putting on good performances. His style is hard hitting. Sheamus is really putting on some great matches and some solid work. And he's been doing it for a while now. And I don't know if he's getting the credit that he deserves. So I'm going to give Sheamus his flowers right now. That brother's a workhorse. Shout out to Sheamus. He ends up getting the win, so him and Rich Holland defeat Cesaro, Ricochet. Pre-show match. Shout out to them. The show opens up with the Usos versus the New Day. Down since day one, baby. This was... Listen, the Usos and the New Day could fight 100 times, and 100 out of 100 times, it'll be a good match. This match was great. Started off slow, isolating Kofi, forcing King Woods to watch. They basically broke him down for half the match. And then, after the hot tag, the match began to pick up. Kofi got the hot, Kingston got the hot tag. Why I keep saying that? King Woods got the hot tag, came in, laid everybody out. Then they started doing back and forth stuff. We had a backbreaker stomp off the rope. Got a lot of near falls towards the end. The Usos hit double splashes on Kingston. Woods broke up the pin. But the Usos then ended up working back over Kofi and hit a 3D out of nowhere. Good to see the 3D.
Perfect.
Hit a 3D out of nowhere and got the win. I don't know if that means anything, but you know what? A protected move like the 3D for the win. This was great. This was great. Good opening match, hot opening match. Perfect thing to open the match. Prediction on point. I did suspect that the Usos would retain. No reason to take the titles off of them right now. They're on top of their game. Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. This was a glorified squash match. This match had no business going 10 minutes. This match went longer than the main event. This match had no business going that long, but the right man won. Drew McIntyre defeats Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss did not go quietly. He came in trying to rock out, but he got hit with a Claymore. TKO. See you later. Goodbye. Next, we had the Raw Tag Team Championships. RK Bros versus the Street Profits. They did have the they were in Atlanta last night, so they did have the Migos. Shout out to the Migos. They did have the Migos out there, and RK Bros came out with the Migos. This was the hometown Atlanta, hometown Goodfield house show type vibes. That's fine. Street Profits, they're always game. You know that. The end came when there was a double DDT, hanging DDT on both of them. After that, went for RKO, got thrown out of the ring. After some back and forth, Orton and Ford, they went to the top rope. Orton got pushed off. Montez went for the frog splash. Orton moved. He then tried to run at Randy. Riddle jumped in, basically popped him up, and it was a pop-up RKO. See you later. Thanks for coming. And it was a good thing they did it to Montez, because you know Montez got crazy hops, so it looked awesome. So shout out to them. This was dope. Not gonna lie, this was dope. Good ending. Migos celebrated in the ring afterwards. That was great. So, solid. Now, you know what? This was a solid, so far, so good. You had SmackDown. You had Saturday Night SmackDown on the kickoff show. You had Saturday Night SmackDown with the Usos in the New Day. In the New Day. You had Saturday Night SmackDown with Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss. Then the pay-per-view started. Nah, the New Day and the Usos was a good opener to the pay-per-view. But the Raw side of this pay-per-view was significantly better than the SmackDown side, bar none. So, Raw Tag Team Championships stay on RK Bros. Then we had The Miz versus Edge. This was better than I thought it was going to be. It was okay. It was smooth. I actually started to care about this match because Edge is that good. And believe it or not, The Miz gets a lot of shit. Yeah, he has a specific style that he works. Yeah, he's not going to be out there putting on 5-star classics. But you know what? The Miz, I have respect for The Miz, man. He's come a long way. The Miz is winning at life. I was just having this conversation with somebody. To go from where The Miz started off, real world type shit, all the way to where he is now, the wife that he has, the kids that he has, the life that he's made for himself, former, I think, 2-time WWE champion. The Miz is winning at life. He's great on the sticks. He definitely can wrestle. Yes, his style is not like workhorse. Oh my God, I'm going to put on a 5-star match. But he's a solid, he's solid. And he gets a lot of shit. He's always gotten a lot of shit. But you know what? The Miz is fiery, man. And listen, you forget when Daniel Bryan was there and he called him soft and he called him a coward, and then he was the IC champion, and then they had that whole Talking Smack segment back when Talking Smack was actually good. It was like, okay, like The Miz is fiery. He could give, like The Miz, he can talk, he can wrestle when it comes down to it. So listen, I have respect for The Miz. I don't care what anybody says. They made me care. Towards the end of this match, they made me care about this match. Because I really didn't care about this match, but they made me care. So the end came when I think the Skull Crushing finale might have got hit. But Maurice smacked Edge with her pocketbook. And then after she smacked Edge with the pocketbook, she's sitting there. I can't even say it because I'm like coughing. Beth Phoenix comes out and she's sitting there scowling at the camera, waiting for her music to hit so she can walk down, but it was about 5 seconds too long. So she's sitting there like, but she can't move until the music hits. Like the fans already see her on the Titantron. So it's like they should have had her in the back waiting for the music and then had her walk out. But I guess somebody in the back fucked the queue up. They fucked that up. So she comes down, she chases off Maurice. The Miz is sitting there like, no. He turns around, dumb babyface syndrome. He gets speared to holy hell and he loses the match. This is inevitably setting up a mixed tag match between Beth Phoenix and her man Edge versus Maurice and The Miz. Now, does this need to be on WrestleMania? No. They need to get this shit over with because I don't know how good that match is going to be. I know Beth can work. I know Edge can work. I know Miz can work. Don't know if Maurice can. I don't know how good this match is going to be. Don't know if they're going to make us care. But let's find out. Edge, they need to give Edge something better to do. Somebody better to fight. This is his last. He signed a 3-year deal, so this is his last year in the 3-year deal. Come on. They need to give the brother, give him something high profile. I mean, a mixed tag match with The Miz and Maurice, not high profile. But this match was solid. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. Shout out to both these guys for getting me invested. Even had the crowd invested towards the end. Shout out to them. Raw Women's Championship match: Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Shout out to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is really good. I can say that confidently. She's gotten so much better. Like, Liv Morgan, now she lost clean. What the hell is that? She lost clean. She wasn't supposed to lose clean. Clearly, Becky Lynch was supposed to get her feet on the ropes at the end of this match. She was too far away. Becky Lynch is probably like, what, 5'3". If she was 5'5", she would have been good. But she clearly couldn't get her feet on the ropes, so it looks even worse because Liv lost clean. Liv lost clean. So now, what do they do with Liv Morgan now? But what I will say is Liv Morgan brought her fucking A game tonight. This might have been the best Liv Morgan match I've seen. I mean, she hit a sunset flip powerbomb in here. She had some good holds in here. Had some good submissions. She was moving smooth in there. I mean, shout out to Liv Morgan. She deserves props. I don't know what she does from here. I don't know where she goes. Because it's like you went for the queen, you missed. Now what do you do? I hope they don't put her back in catering and have her sitting in catering for 3 months like they did with Toni Storm. I hope Liv can wrestle. She's got great. She makes you like want to see her succeed, if that makes sense. She's got that baby face. She's got that baby face thing where it's like when she's getting beat down, you want to see her come back and win. Cause some baby faces is like, I still want to see you lose. But she's got a knack of her face, her mannerisms, her facial expressions. She brought that shit tonight. She brought it tonight to Becky. She lost, but she brought it. We had a Rings of Saturn. We had a Rings of Saturn attempt. The end came. Let's just go to the end. The end came where Liv was basically beaten up. She had a sunset flip powerbomb, like I said, off the ropes. Springboard sunset flip. It was cool. Tried to set up another Rings of Saturn. Lynch countered it. She tried to hit the Oblivion, but Lynch countered it into her rock bottom manhandle slam. And she tried to get to the ropes, couldn't get there. But it wasn't the smoothest rock bottom, but it got the job done. She tried to have her feet on the ropes, couldn't get there, so she lost. And then apparently she had something in her eye, so hopefully she's okay because she kept saying, I can't see. So maybe she got poked in the eye by the rope or some shit. I don't know. But she lost clean. Becky Lynch is once again the winner. They're probably setting up Bayley to come back and beat her. Probably. That's the only thing that I could think of. Oh no, she's on Raw. Bayley's on SmackDown. So no, it won't be Bayley. It'll probably be Bayley and Charlotte. So I don't know. Unless Bayley wins the Royal Rumble and then she just picks Becky Lynch. But this was pretty good. Very good setup to the main event. Now your main event, being that we had no Roman Reigns, we needed something for Brock to do. So basically, they said, Brock, we're going to have you go into the WWE Championship match. Now, it's funny because the WWE Championship match was supposed to be Big E versus Seth. Kevin Owens snuck his way in the back door, made it a triple threat. Bobby Lashley bullied his way in the front door, made it a fatal four-way. Brock Lesnar, like he said, Brock Lesnar does what the fuck he wants to do. So he just said, I'm going to be in this match too. Made it a fatal five-way. So this is great. So shout out to Brock Lesnar. This was a sprint to the finish. This was all action. This was just as long as it needed to be. all action, all the time. Bang, 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 bang. Game over, and that was it. Big move, big move, big move, big move. Finisher, finisher, finisher. It's over. This is what this was. Great sprint. Excuse me. Great sprint to the finish. So you can't go wrong there. And Big E, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. So Brock got the biggest babyface reaction. He was introduced last. The fact that he was introduced after the champion is like, wow. That just lets you know what they think about Big E. But, Brock Lesnar is, anything that he's in feels special. So, what can we do? Rollins and Owens teamed up on Brock early on. They teamed up on him early on. Lesnar was German suplexing every motherfucking body before Big E ended up taking him out, clotheslined him again, took him out. After that, Lashley picked Big E up, threw him into the ring post, and then Lashley speared Brock through the barricade. Then Rollins and Owens teamed up on Lashley. Excuse me. They teamed up on Lashley, taking him down. And then Brock was trying to come back into the match, but then Seth hit him, took him down, and then Kevin Owens frog splashed him on the outside, so he's knocked out still. They were gonna suplex Lashley onto the announce desk, but he counted it. Big E then came and put him through the announce desk with a Uranagi. So this is just like bam, 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 bam. Everybody's fighting. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, goddamn.
Perfect.
Then Lesnar then comes back into the match. He hit Rollins with an F5. He hit Big E with an F5. He hit Kevin Owens with an F5. You get an F5. You get an F5. You get an F5. Everybody gets a fucking F5. Then he turns around, catches a spear from Bobby Lashley for a close 2 count. Big E then comes in, hits the big ending on Bobby Lashley for a 2 count. Then Big E tries to get Brock Lesnar up for a big ending, but he overshoots it. Lesnar counters that into an F5, and he F5s Big E for the victory. Literally. That is the 8 minutes and change of this match. I just told you every big thing. Everything that just happened, that's how the match broke down. That's the match right there. Craziness. Pure craziness. So, 100 miles an hour. This was fun from top to bottom. I'm going to say this was a thumbs up show. Between the main event, the Raw Women's title, and the opening match, listen, 3 out of the 5 matches were really good. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 6 matches on the main show. 3 of them were really good. This is a thumbs up show. I wanted to see what was going to happen with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. We didn't get a chance because Roman got sick, so it is what it is. But they made up for it by giving us Brock Lesnar in the main event, crowning a new WWE champion. So, listen, they had to scramble, they had to figure it out. They scrambled, they figure it out. Good for them. Good for them. Excuse me. So, I'm glad that happened. Good shit. All I could say is that I'm definitely looking forward to the Royal Rumble, seeing what's happening. We are now on the road to WrestleMania once we get to the Rumble at the end of the month. So I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm just going to take it as it is, see where this shit goes, call it a day. With that being said, that is your What the Wrestling We the Ones Day 1 review. I am your host, RJD. I am out of here. Everybody be safe. Enjoy the day. Check out my socials. Listen, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the goddamn video. I'll holla at y'all. Be safe. Peace. Hit that like button, you heard me?
Dom DeMarco.